everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pennycast, where it's another episode and the final episode of the season. I am your host, Dana, joined by Mr. Danny Thirsty Martinez. How are you doing, Mr. Thirsty?
Very thirsty.
He's doing.
Always thirsty.
He's thirsty for more of that Pennywise, because he said the dark meat tastes twice as sweet, and now he needs.
That was a really cringe joke, that just like Freddy versus Jason when he said that to Kelly Rowland.
That is not a cringe joke. See,
that's a cringe joke.
It is not cringe. It is hilarious because in this case, he actually feeds off of you, unlike Freddy, who just kills you. So it has more meaning. There's more impact in the words. So this is the finale. This is not just the finale. You can even make the argument it's a prequel, it's a sequel, it's a during the same timeical whole thing, because the Penny, there's no time difference. He's omnipresent, as you mentioned in the first episode. Because I'm like, is he everywhere? You're like, yes, he's everywhere to me. So there you go. So what are your thoughts on this finale? Did it live up to all of the hype? How did you like the connections to the It universe as a whole? And Beverly, we got Beverly. Ingrid actually has a purpose. We now know who is Richie's dad. I'm not dad, mom.
Mom.
Beat Richie. Beat Marge.
I saw that coming, honestly. And only reason why I saw that coming was because Richie was her sweetheart. And I was like, oh, watch her be the Richie from the movies, like mom, because she named him after her first love. So it only makes sense. I called it. It was nice. It was still a really nice scene. Overall, the show and this episode was great because it connects so much without like over-explaining, overindulging on everything. It's still focused mainly on the story that we're supposed to be watching. And it's just like, it's like fan service, but without like overdoing it. So it was very well done. Perfect all the way.
Because I've been holding on to this for like a month and a half because I saw this thing way in advance goals. And you're
which is funny because you messaged me after, obviously you didn't spoil anything for me, but you messaged me after you finished the series and you're like, oh, you're going to hate this show. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's going to be bad? Are you kidding me? So you just fucking with me.
This is the worst show to ever exist in the human creation of shows. Oh, I hope this gets canceled. It is absolutely amazing. And I need Emmys. I need Emmys for all of the kids, including the first cast that got killed off. But all of the kids, Halloran definitely needs one, and Bill Skarsgård, please give Penny his Emmy. But this was fun. It started off with blood and guts and horror right from the beginning, where the school is under lockdown. And I loved how the fact it was like, the upperclassmen, please go home. I don't want you. You're too old for me.
Yeah.
Please go home. And like you would see all of the kids going down to the assembly room, a hall, the little auditorium is what they call it. I haven't seen an auditorium for so long.
Yeah.
But the auditorium for a class assembly. And the turtle was there. So I was like, oh, the turtle's going to be protected, or at least the turtle's going to be ushered away.
So that scene right there, honestly, I think it would have been, it's already perfect as it is, but I feel like it would have been more perfect if like Pennywise, when he showed up and he saw the turtle, he should have made like a little comment. He should have said a little something there, just like a little Easter egg, or just like maybe even just like looking at the turtle in annoyance. That would have been enough. Like just so there's like a little more of a reference with Maturin.
Something like, oh, I know you.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. That would have been funny. But he got all of the kids down there, and we finally got those group of kids. I forgot the name of the girl, but she finally got, but she's not got, because they're not dead.
They're not dead.
Which is like, boo. You're not dead. I wish they were. But the kids are down there. You had the teacher. And you sent me the reference, the entire puppeteer reference from The Simpsons, which predicts everything.
That's funny.
Although technically, it is before
well, not that scene.
Simpsons. not that scene, but they did it so well. See, I'm telling they do it. They do some kind of voodoo. They're tapped into the it universe.
Well, South Park said it best. Remember that episode of Simpsons did it, and like like when Butters was trying to take over the world in these crazy ways, and Simpsons already did it. But they mentioned, and it's very much true. Like Simpsons has been around for so damn long, and they've created so many crazy ideas and stories that you're bound to run into those ideas again, which is why it seems like they can predict the future.
I say no to that because they're too specific. They're way too specific. So I still think there's some magic at play there. But they had the teacher come out. Obviously, he's controlled by Pennywise. He gathers the students. His head is then smushed, and
Gives them their little
Pennywise
song.
gives them a song and dance, like right before he kills them. To get that fear up, to make them all nice and tender. You got to put the juices in them. Little pineapple juice, little mangoes, little fruit. I love that absolutely so much. And so then we have the kids are trying to find out what the heck is going on. They got separated. They're in the middle of, this is what I thought, this is Stephen King's The Mist. I could be wrong with that aspect, but I'm like, this feels like The Mist.
They've already denied it. They've already like confirmed it's not that mist.
But it's
Sadly.
misty, so it's my mist. It's me. So it's my mist. So the kids are now separated. The adults are also separated from the kids. Dick is having a fit still. He is trying to kill himself, essentially, because it's too much. There's too many voices that's going on. And he is about to pull that trigger. But here comes Leroy. Not Leroy.
Jenkins.
The other one. Yes, Leroy Jenkins. Comes in and says, they got will. You can't do it, they got will. And so he stops him from killing himself right there. There's a lot of things that come in at play. The kids have the dagger. Well, they don't have the dagger yet, but the dagger is very important. Is there a bird? Do you have a peacock?
No.
A parrot?
Go ahead. Keep going.
Like, he wants to fight. He sounds like I'm. What is she talking about? She's got all the information wrong. What is going?
Nothing. Good. Keep going. That was funny.
Okay. So basically, there's three things at play. We have to find the dagger and to stop Pennywise. The guy I forgot the name, but the white guy who is determined to be best friends with Pennywise is still going on with this mission.
Yeah.
They decide we don't need him anymore because I'm master and commander and I'm going to colonize Pennywise, which is funny into itself. And then there's a whole bunch of things coming up play. Poor Daniel and his whole situation.
Aww.
That was sad. But you know how it always has to be a minority that dies. So we have that with him. So you were kind of explaining how much you loved this episode. What did you think? Everyone had their own mission. Let's focus kind of quickly on the whole situation with Hank. Not Hank. Sorry. The
Halloran?
one who is
Halloran.
Halloran, The Shining. Halloran,
yeah.
The Shining. So he's going through it. We needed him to be really focused. He ends up meeting Rose, who has a way to not to cure him, but to calm the voices by drinking the Menturian root, which is the name, of course, associated with the turtle. What did you think of that? Because to me, I was like, oh, that's a little bit too convenient.
Yeah, I thought that. I was just like, oh, that's an easy, like that's kind of like a lazy Easter egg of you just naming something random just so you could try to fit the name in there to please the fans that are waiting for a Maturin reference, and that was it. So I was kind of disappointed with that. And also it was convenient that, oh, I'm going to give you this ancient herbal tea by my people and it's going to heal you. So, and I'm just like, oh, that's another kind of convenient plot thing, and I was just like, okay, but whatever. It's still nice to see that Halloran is kind of coming into his own with his new powers and getting used to it and understanding it a little bit more. So he had to go crazy before he had to be fixed. So it kind of works for him. And for the future of his character, hopefully we see him one day. And then oh my god! And then after that, once he finally gets his powers, I think the coolest scene to me was towards the end when he pretty much traps Pennywise in his own mind, and he gets to bitch slap him. Like he bitch slaps a god. And Pennywise is just like, I am an eater of worlds. I am a god. Smack. I was just like, okay, cool. I mean, he eventually breaks out, but it was still a really good scene. You're muted.
What's funny about that, I don't think Pennywise has ever been slapped. Like, that was a good old pimp slap.
Yeah,
like, not once,
he
but
was shocked.
I think it was like a... He was very shocked. And I think Pennywise was also thrown off, not just because of the slap, but because he didn't know what was going on. So for the first time, he wasn't in control of the entire thing. He's like, who's Bob Gray? Even his voice changed. Mm-hmm. He sounded more like the Bob Gray than he did a Pennywise. So that whole scene was hilarious itself. I kind of like how they just kept that slap was hilarious. But yeah, I did love that scene, and I did like the fact that he was able to kind of trap him in his own mind. Question though, that I have: do you feel like they didn't explain his shining powers enough? Because we knew that he was connected to Pennywise, but they didn't go into great detail of how he's able to trap him in his mind, even though it was temporary.
Well, no one movie or TV show from Stephen King's universe really explains what The Shining is. Everyone kind of has their own way of using it. Like one of them, they have telekinetic powers. For example, Carrie from the horror movie Carrie, she has The Shining too, but she has pyrokinesis. There's what's his name from The Green Mile? He's practically an angel, bringing stuff back to life. So his powers are very different as well. So everybody's got their own individual thing, and I don't think nobody really understands it, and that's kind of the point. So I enjoy a little bit of the mysticism and the mystery with it, so I'm fine. It's okay.
Okay, so kind of going back with Dick, they need Dick, he's the great one who can find things. They need Dick to find the tree. It's this ancient tree that I think was way before Rose's time, and I'm kind of wondering in the other seasons will we get to see kind of the history of that tree, because we do know that they're going to go back in time, because how it works is Pennywise is dead, but he's not dead, but he can't go past 2008. Was it 8?
8.
I forgot.
No, I think it's much later.
2016. Sorry.
16. I think it's 16. Yeah.
Yeah. So he can't go past 2016, but he can go all the way before that. He can go back to the beginning of time if he wants to, just not 2018. And he feels that if he is able to kill anyone that is in the bloodlines of those who kill him, then he can go forward to 2018, essentially erasing the It movies as we know it, because they just won't exist anymore because they would be dead. Right.
Yes and no. I think, and it's still not established yet, and I know everybody's confused. He doesn't. For those people who say that he's time traveling, he's not time traveling. He's literally living all of time, or his time, at once. So he's aware of it all at once. He's not like, oh, I failed, let me go back a couple years and see if I can do this again. He's not doing that. He's just living everything all at once. When it comes to him trying to stop certain people, to stop, I guess, the kids in the movies to be born or whatever it might be, I don't know if he's aware of this, but it's not going to happen. It's nothing's going to change. because one thing that's not mentioned in the show, which I feel like they should have mentioned in the show, was that there is a particular type of energy that ensures that the things that have happened remains happening no matter what he does. So nothing will ever change. He's always going to fail no matter what. But I also kind of like that he also mentions, to Margaret, he's just like, he says like they're the cause of my death, or maybe it's my birth. I don't know. Sometimes I get jumbled up and confused about it. So he's not, he's also kind of confused about this time loop.
Right. That's a weird way of things. But yeah. Which is why he kind of kept speaking to Beverly like, oh, Richie. He's like, what?
Yeah.
He didn't know what was going on himself. But he purposely knew who Beverly was. Not Beverly. Margie. Yeah, Margaret was. Margie. Everything's confusing. I really do need them to iron that out because it does get a bit ridiculous at some point. But going back off with the entire dagger situation, obviously Lily has it. The dagger apparently has the power of the same thing as the One Ring with the whole Precious situation.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really funny. It was like, no, we can't destroy my Precious. So the kids are struggling with that, but at the same time, the tree. I'm wondering, we know the significance of the tree. I'm wondering if we're going to probably get more history of that. Because it did end with like chapter 1. So we know there's going to be more chapters in that whole situation. And the fact that the energy can connect with the other daggers. I'm wondering if that's the same energy that can prevent Pennywise from actually being successful in the killing of those who end up, the bloodline that ends up killing him. Because you talked about energy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
possibly.
Maybe you have to actually destroy the trees. Oh, see, and this is how we get the Ents, because you used to go all the way back in time, so that way in the Lord of the Rings.
Well, I don't think the tree is significant in a sense of like it has powers to stop him or anything. I think I'm sure the tree is iconic for some other reason. That's more just grounded on Earth and the history. But what's keeping him at bay is the stones. The stones just need to touch the ground because Rose, she mentions the ground. So what does she say? She says the ground gives it nourishment, or I can't remember what term she uses, but it's the earth that kind of gives it the connection with the other stones. So they just had to put it in the ground. It didn't matter. It didn't matter where.
Okay. So as that's happening, you see that's not the mist. The mist is covering much more of the land. So how is that not the mist? That has to be the mist. It's not rain. It just makes more sense then.
Listen, I thought the same exact thing, but I can't remember. It's one of the writers, I think it was, or maybe it was Aunt Muschietti himself. I can't remember, but there was a brief like a interview snippet on Twitter, and he had said he confirmed it's not the mist. It's not from the mist.
I don't like that at all. So whatever. So going off with that as well, then we're trying to look for the dagger. The kids have the dagger. Pennywise is slowly creeping up towards this entire situation. And this is when we get into the whole Daniel and Rose. They're able to find out where they're at, which is on the ice. After the kids go through a multitude of being scared by just discovering that everyone's disappeared and the teacher is dead, which was cute. We get a lovely little milk cart, the milk driving truck situation, which was funny. I was like, is this a reference to something? I'm like trying to remember. Is it like milk is important in the It movies? What's going on with milk? But I didn't come up with anything. But that didn't happen. So they ended up crashing by a pothole, and that's when Lily goes completely crazy, and they decide to take turns holding the dagger so that no one loses their minds over the Precious. And this is when we end up there on the ice. Will is able to locate where the kids are because of the man. I'm gonna keep saying Mandarin teeth, but
Will, you mean
not Will.
Dick?
See, yeah, no,
Yeah.
Dick is able to find everybody through the turtle teeth.
It's
And
okay.
this is
All
when
those
we
guys
end
look
up
alike.
with. Wow, he said it. He said it.
You do that a lot.
He said it, not me. So you take his stuff out on him. General, good lord. So this is when we end up with a huge episode of everybody on ice, including Daniel. General Shaw is there, the kids are there, the adults are there. They're coming there. This is how we end up with Daniel getting shot and killed. He's trying to help the kids with the dagger, along with Rose. The whole kind of cronies are just fighting not fighting, firing, and he ends up getting shot. Which I thought he would play a much bigger role
I did too.
with this. I am very upset about that aspect. And Leroy is about to be captured all at the same time. And the kids are trying to get to the tree. This is huge sequence of the tree. What was your response to the tree? And then we finally have, of course, the appearance of Richie. But before that, we have the kids are trying to get to the tree. Pennywise is on their behind, going completely crazy, trying to stop them. And they're running out of energy. The dagger is like, I don't want to go in. And then, of course, Richie. Saves the day.
I like the whole scene where he's like leading the kids through the ice. It's kind of like a whole Pied Piper thing, but with like the tuba, which actually made it creepier because he was playing with the tuba. I don't know why, it just was creepier. And yeah, you go through all that stuff. He finally kills General Shaw after, which actually was another cool scene because Pennywise was free and he was gonna leave him alone, but then he kind of gives a little bit of smell and he's like, "Oh, I remember you." Like, this is 27 years ago and he still remembers smells. So yeah.
Well, you said he's living at the same time. He's probably just smelling him right now.
You know what? Yes, good point. That is a good point. That's true. So that he probably already references the smell. He immediately turns his face into what he had feared at that moment, and yeah, he offs him. So that was a nice moment. We got Hanlon, who got shot a little bit, but then Daniel, I was upset about that too. I thought he was going to have a bigger role either with this last episode or maybe with future episodes, but I mean, I guess technically, again, he could. I don't know how old he is. I don't think he's going to be that. I don't think he's going to be born if it took place in 27 years prior. If we do season 2, I don't think he's born. He doesn't look older than 27. So yeah, it wasn't much with him. He was more like a proxy character or kind of just like I felt like he was a throwaway character, just kind of like for a plot device, because they used him. Importantly, he knew the history with the dagger and the whole Halloran interrogation thing when he was sitting in there in the interrogation room with Daniel. So they made it seem like he had an important role later on, but nothing happened. So yeah, it was really upsetting.
Yeah.
It was a nice moment afterwards with Will and his father. See, I used the name properly. Will and his father. They had that nice moment. His father's finally like recognizing him for being, an individual, a strong kid that, he could do things on his own. And that was a good moment. So he let him do his thing. Where we're leading on to. Yeah. And then they're trying to take the dagger and put it under the tree. So they're having a hard time because the dagger, I guess, is sentient in a sense. So it's pushing away because it wants to be closer when they're trying to push it farther away to kind of, in a way, expand the cage a little bit. So yeah, they had the hard time. And so honestly, what I was expecting was the dead people in general, like that Pennywise had killed, to kind of like all kind of go and help out, especially the Native American with the bear headpiece. but then they just showed the Native American. I'm just like, oh, she's gonna help. How is she gonna help? And then you see the little boy running, and immediately my eyes just start tearing, and I'm like, oh my god, they did it. They did it. I can't believe they did it. So yeah, go ahead.
So here's the thing that I was wondering for you, because you are more tapped into this than me. So remember when when Pennywise was about to eat Marge, and he was like, ah, and then he stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately we went to 1908. He can't do things at the same time. He can only do it once. Am I making sense? Because he has to stop in his tracks in order to then be transformed into 1908.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't, so technically, he's not omnipresent, because omnipresent would mean that you're able to interact all at the same time. So you can eat Marge in 1980s, but still be in 1908 getting slapped around by the guy who thinks that you're drunk. Does that make any sense?
Yes, that makes sense. Although I feel like you're right, that doesn't necessarily.
Because why did he stop?
Well, he stopped because Halloran put him in his own mind to kind of like box him in a little cage in his head. But what I'm saying is, I know where you're going with this, and it makes sense. But just because he stopped dead in his tracks at that moment doesn't mean that if he did stop dead in his tracks in other times in his cycle, let's say like, chapter 1 or chapter 2 of the movie, it doesn't mean that anything is going on. It would have been a cool reference is, let's say we watch chapter 1 and chapter 2 and he's about to kill one of the kids and he stops dead in his tracks. That would be an amazing connection to the show. But just because the show stopped him dead in his tracks doesn't mean that he's going to stop dead in his tracks at a moment that we witnessed during the movie. So I feel like you're right, but also I don't think it connects to anything. Yeah.
Well, that's just, because I was trying to be like, oh, because he suddenly stopped.
Right.
And then he was able to find out that the guy was actually Halloran doing things to trap him in the mind.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of also wondering, if you're trapping him in the mind, why 1908? So then can he travel in his mind to anywhere that he wants to?
I don't know. Maybe 1908 is significant for Pennywise, because didn't he, he crash landed not too long. Yeah, he didn't crash land not too long after that or before that. So maybe that's a significant time for him, especially because of the whole Bob Gray thing. So that's like when he established the whole Pennywise persona.
Yeah. And I also wish that we got what Shaw's fear was. We don't know what people, like, we knew Pickle Girl was the daddy.
General Shaw? I don't know. I guess. No,
we don't know what his fear was, because he just went into, like, opened up, he saw the deadlights, and then he got his face eaten off. We didn't get to see General Shaw, the guy who was like, I can trap Penny because I'm amazing.
I mean, he's afraid of whatever that figure was. It looked like a freaking like woodland creature or something. I don't know. That's all he's afraid of. I mean, he was a kid. Like, how many things can you possibly be afraid of as a kid? You're just gonna be scared of.
But you're an adult now. It wasn't like he was trying to scare him back when he was a kid.
It was still traumatizing. I mean, to know that a monster like that exists.
So then this is what I'm kind of wondering. Are we going to go back to General Shaw's time to know what that monster is?
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's good. That's actually a really good point. We might actually do that. Maybe there's more significance to what the monster is to him.
Who knows? That would actually work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that part. So I love the fact that they can't kill Penny, but Leroy is still he's shooting at him. He's still going to shoot and try to blow his head off, as well as so did Rose. She tried as well. And it looked like, again, things were not going to work out for them. But then all along there was this woman who seemed to have come from the Native American tribe that is connected to Rose, and she was holding the hand of Richie. Richie comes in and saves the day, gives an FU salute to Pennywise, and is able to help them push down the dagger. They obviously can't see Richie, but he's able to help and to save
They
the day.
felt them. They felt them though.
They felt him. He was like, I feel somebody there.
Yeah.
Somebody with us. So, yeah. How did you like the return of Richie to save the day? She was the damsel in distress, and he was the knight.
Yeah. So the moment was perfect. I'm not complaining about it whatsoever. I am confused as to why they didn't add more of the children, like the ones that died in the theater, or the one that died in the beginning. I already forgot his name, Maddie. I don't understand why those kids couldn't contribute as well to kind of just call back to all of Pennywise's victims. I know Richie held a significant for us. Sure, I get that. But I feel like they could have added the other kids as well to kind of like push on the fact that those kids aren't gone forever. They're taken care of somehow, or they're still around in some way. Or maybe that's the reason why they didn't. Maybe Penny killed them and they're not around anymore. Maybe their spirits don't live on. So because obviously Richie didn't die by the hands of Pennywise, he died in the fire. So maybe that is the significant difference.
Oh, I completely agree with that. Them kids in hell. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
They in hell. They got killed by a demon, so they're down there with them. Yeah, and it held a significance, and also we need to get to the point, the extra reason why as to why Marge would name her child Richie. So he was there in spirit, helping them save the day. So I did love that point, but it does make sense. I would have liked to have seen that as well, but he wasn't killed by them.
Which by the way, and I see more people online did just. I don't understand what the confusion is, but people are questioning. Oh, why didn't Marge warn Richie when he was, the little teen in the movie about Pennywise and all that? And I'm just like, didn't we already establish that people forget things? Like Pennywise purposely makes people forget, which is why there's so many missing children. So Marge isn't going to warn anybody because she's an adult now who's forgotten. That's it. It's that simple.
But she's able to remember Richie just enough to name him after Richie. Possibly, so is it that she doesn't remember how he dies and the events? She just remembers the love she had for him.
So,
that's so corny.
Because a lot of that, a lot of what happened everything that happened in the black spot indirectly, I understand that Pennywise had his hand on why the black spot happened in the first place, but nobody knows that. It was all just influence. It was like outer influence by him. So I'm sure she remembers everything that happened that doesn't involve Pennywise. So she's not going to remember a killer clown. She's not going to remember, probably, stabbing that dagger into the earth at the tree. She's not going to remember the big ass circus cart dragging a bunch of floating children around. She's not going to remember any of that stuff, but she's going to remember the traumatic things that actually, happened without Pennywise's influence.
And now I'm kind of wondering, because remember, Richie ends up becoming like the mama's boy. She heavily dotes on him. I think he's the one with asthma as well, and he can't go outside. He can't do anything. He can't breathe. No. So I'm kind of wondering.
That's the class clown. Richie's the class clown one with the glasses.
That's the class clown one. Okay. Yeah. I'm getting the children on this stuff.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Never mind. Because then I'm like, oh, it's because of the smoke inhalation, and that's why he has asthma and is Richie. Oh, okay. So then, never mind. But yes, still great connection either way. So then, kind of going off of that, we were talking about. I would have loved to have seen the other kids as well, but we said, I said they're in hell, so we're not going to see that. So then it's kind of fast forwards into, it's kind of like a mid-credit epilogue before we get to the after credit. What's this? Oh. I do love the joke, lively crowd, that Pennywise did say.
Yeah, that was good.
And we see like the different layers of Pennywise peeled back. We saw the pickle dad. There was another one in there, which is really great as well. So yeah, I did love that. So then we're at the funeral. we're at Richard's funeral, which the kids are obviously a hot mess about. Marge is given the eulogy, and she's like, I love him. Halloran is still there, but he's like in a distance. And he's able to see things, but they're not bothering him. So the tea is working. Good for the tea. But this was the big part where Richie's like holding on to his parents. He got his arms around them. And he's like, he's with you. And they're like, who are you, sir? I'm still trying to figure that out. I didn't like
that's not an answer, sir. Just tell me your damn name.
What's your name? I don't know where you live. I'm Halloran. Nice to meet you. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I would have been weirded out by that answer.
That guy would have too. But you see what I did like is that the tea made him be at peace with the ghostesses, so he's still able to see them, but they're not bothering him. And now it's transformed into being able to help people to bring them to peace, to be like, hey, your son is with you. It's going to be okay. Yeah. Which reminds me of Danny, adult Danny. So Dr. Sleep Danny, who helps people transition when they die.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, see the connection. So I did like that part. Lily is okay. She's able to visit her father's graves without any kind of pickle attack.
No pickles involved.
No pickles are involved. And she's like, hey, I made some friends. You won't believe how this happened, but either way, everything is working. Everyone's at peace. Marge ends up telling Lily what Pennywise told her. And he's like, it's okay. He was just trying to scare you. But that's how we ended up with the big understanding of his origin, where his death is his birth. And there's no time. Time is continuous with him. And he can't figure it out. But this I thought was a big clue to the previous seasons, where it said Marge wonders if Pennywise can travel back to the past to kill her parents and to stop them from being born. So, do you feel that each season or each chapter of the It series is going to just be, how can we kill this bloodline? Does that get boring?
Yeah, I thought that's what the concept was going to go with. After they revealed that he's like omnipresent in time and stuff, because that just means that everybody we're going to deal with is going to be connected somehow in some bloodline way. And that kind of makes things a bit boring. Although we're going to get, technically we're going to get new characters because, they're people that we probably haven't met yet personally for the show. Sure, there's the new characters, but because they still have an association with the other movies and TV show, it's like, all right, we already know the outcome. This grandfather's not going to die because then he wouldn't birth the mom and then it wouldn't birth Marge and vice versa and so on and so forth. So it's like you're introducing these characters that we already know what their future is. So the expectation kind of just dies down. It feels too safe. It's like the opposite of Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones, nobody was safe. We didn't know who was going to die. But if you're going to stick to these bloodlines that Pennywise is trying to kill, we know that they're safe. So it's like, meh, like what else can you offer? You're going to have to offer something different.
And to be fair, we knew Sean Bean was going to die because he dies in everything.
He does, and I was still shocked. I was still upset.
It was the way how he died and the suddenness of it.
Yeah.
Well, like usually he gets like a elongated death scene. I was like, nah. Like, that kind of made it sad too. But here's what I'm wondering. Going by your theory of the energy, it still doesn't stop Pennywise from dying, even if he kills off a bloodline. This would make for a wonderful season where all the kids die, and he wins.
You mean like?
And he's like, movies? No, the next chapter, the next TV, the next series. I mean, seasons. So we know that we're getting multiple seasons for the Derry show, right? what happens because of the theory that you have that even though he can go back in time and kill a bloodline, he still dies in the time that he dies of 2018 or 2016. So if that is the case, then there could be a season where he successfully kills the kids, but he could still die in 2016.
Yes.
So think of a
Absolutely
Thanos
possible.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the only way for me where I'm like, yay. He lost the little battle today, but he's gonna win maybe down the
Okay.
line. But it doesn't really matter either way. So that's kind of what I'm hoping.
I'm hoping for the same. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but that does make sense.
And another thing is, he can only terrorize Derry because it would be really lovely to see him terrorize other places.
Well, he can't.
Can we just like move the trees? Can we just like move the trees like a little bit?
I mean, even
So,
1908, he's still technically stuck. So unless they do a fourth season, where literally the season of when he crash lands before the place was colonized, and the fourth season is dealing with the Native Americans, calling him the Galoo and figuring out how to put the cage up, we're probably not gonna see him come out of Derry ever.
But you remember Pangea, right? That is loud. That is outside.
Well, that's New York.
It's still loud.
It's going farther away.
Okay, there you go.
Right outside.
So, remember Pangea, right? Pangea is the theory that we were all separated, the different continents, and we were all together before we were. Right. So then we go back to Pangea time. We was all together, and let's just say that the only reason why the daggers are all close to each other because of Derry was because
you're going way too far back. You're going way too far back. Like Pangea was before humans or Homo sapiens were around, though. Like we're talking,
but Pennywise was.
No, that's what I'm saying. The lore is the Native Americans witnessed Pennywise falling down in the meteor. At least I think so. Isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah. So no, Pangea has nothing to do with any of that.
You sure? Welcome to Derry, Pangea edition.
Pangea edition. Dinosaurs. He's just terrorizing dinosaurs.
He's just terrorizing the dinosaurs. So there was some caveman or something. You're so Jurassic Park. It was somebody
will be much later after Pangea.
My heart. Fine, then destroy all of my theories. So then we this is how we get another continuation, the goodbye to everybody, which I thought was terrible and stupid. But anyway, we have Halloran is going to this little small quiet hotel
Good for him.
No one's ever heard of. Good for him. It's snowy up there.
Fine. Yeah.
It'll be perfect. He's gonna be a chef. He's gonna learn how to cook.
Yeah.
So you know another thing that really made me kind of upset about this? We never saw him be a chef. We never saw him cook.
Oh, in the show in Derry?
In the show.
Yeah, it's so funny that we think the same way with certain things, because like I thought the exact same thing. I was just like, they hired him as a chef. He can cook. When did they establish that he can cook? Like he has experience cooking. They're not gonna put him as a prep chef or a prepper or a server or nothing. He's just immediately like a chef for a hotel. Okay, sure. I guess times were different back then.
Like, why not make him a chef in the military?
Yeah.
That would have made sense. Worked out well.
I mean, yeah, because he could have been a chef in the military, but still has his powers, and in the military use him for his powers. But generally, his role in the military could have been a chef, and that could have just solved that little weird reference.
Exactly. So he's magically being a chef.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah. They saw him and it was like, he's black. He knows how to cook. There you go.
Yeah, actually, was it me and you that were talking about it? Or maybe it was me and my wife. We were talking about how I think it was my wife. We were talking about how prevalent it was in the Navy that black people were usually chefs. So there's a position in the Navy called a CS, culinary specialist. And back in the day,
I was just gonna say colored specialist,
culinary specialist. And back in the day, it was the 40s and 50s. It was usually the black people who did that because you could just throw them in the kitchen. They could just mind their own business. And then they didn't have to like deal with actual, operations and things like that. And even now to this day, if you were in the military, you very much still see that culture that a lot of black people tend to gravitate towards being a cook in the Navy. And although, I was stationed in Japan, I've seen a couple of white culinary specialists, but majority are black. And I'm like, man, they're kind of like stuck in that kind of culture, I guess you could say, or mentality. I don't know, or a hole you can say, because like they can definitely do other things. So yeah, I feel like because of the time and place that this show took place, it would have been perfect for him to be a cook. Or for example, like what was it? Men of Honor. Cuba Gooding, he was a cook in real life before he became a Navy diver.
Yep, you see, so they skipped the thing there. So he is going to cook at a hotel, but they said London, so that was fun.
He said that?
Yeah, because remember he has a lay. Remember he has like the layover. He said, and then he's going to be in London.
Really?
Which is odd because I didn't know that was where. What is it called? The Overlook Hotel?
Overlook Hotel.
Is it called the Overlook?
No, it says it's Mount Hood, Oregon, or maybe that's where it really is located.
No, that's called. Okay, so the real hotel is in Colorado, but in the.
Oh, I get Yosemite. What am I looking at?
What are we looking for?
The Stanley Hotel.
No, it's called the Overlook Hotel.
Well, no. In the book, in the book, it's the Overlook. So the Stanley Hotel is located in Colorado because that's where they kind of got where they filmed it at.
Oh, okay.
So
where's it in the book?
The Overlook Hotel. Where is Overlook Hotel?
Oh,
yeah, it says Oregon.
Yes, it's Colorado. So then, what was he doing?
I'm getting a lot of different answers. The Overlook Hotel in The Shining isn't one single place. It's exterior. No, I don't care where it was shot. I'm talking about the books.
Okay. Okay, bus to Boston, plane to London in the AM. Got an old buddy back there who owns a hotel. Wants to give me a shot at cooking in a restaurant. Then the guy was like, oh, it's fancy. He's like, I think I'll manage. I mean, how much trouble can a hotel be?
Huh.
Okay, here we go. So we're not crazy for the record. It is not located in London. It is actually, we were saying it's in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. He didn't secure the job yet. He goes to London to learn how to cook.
Okay.
What?
So he's going to. So he got hired for something that he needs to go to school for first, and then he could actually just continue getting hired for it.
Yes. So, because I'm like, I don't remember Jack Nicholson being like, I want to check in to the hotel, please.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, they could have been Americans visiting the UK, but I don't remember that at all. I don't remember them stopping in the UK at all, or any English accents, British accents.
Yeah, no. So
okay,
yeah.
That makes sense. Which is still kind of funny though. He's like, hey, dude, I got a job for you, but I need you to go to school first.
Okay, so this is how it connects to The Shining. We all know that it literally connects to The Shining because he goes to work at the hotel in The Shining. But Jack Torrance, Jack Nicholson, right? Remember, he was just a reincarnation of all of the other employee, right? At the end of the movie.
Wasn't he like the caretaker or something? Like incarnation of the caretaker?
Right.
Like that? Yeah.
So he is forever tied to the hotel. He can't leave the hotel because he's in the hotel. Here's the thing. So the photo that we're looking at, when Jack realizes who Jack actually is, or when we realize who Jack is the Royal Palace Hotel in Kensington, London, in 1921. So when Halloran says he's going to London, there you go. That's what's at London. It's not our Jack, but it's a reincarnate. That's look.
One of the reincarnations. Okay, we're going already off the rails with everything here.
So it's an Easter egg. It's an Easter egg because we all know that he ends up in The Shining.
Yes.
Right. But it's just explained to you kind of the Easter egg of Jack.
You want to know a disappointing fact that I just found out this morning? So everybody's debating right now that Halloran has survived and, basically bitch slapped the god, and he's going to die in a hotel by just a man. Because he dies in The Shining, for those who don't know, the original movie. Oh, excuse me. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. But in the book, he doesn't die. He just dies of old age. So everybody's debating, oh my God, which timeline are we in? Or which reality are we in? Are we in the one for the Stephen King book? Or are we in the one for the Shining movie? Guess what was confirmed by Andy?
Oh, come on. What?
He dies. He says this is connected to the Shining book. I mean, sorry, excuse me, the Shining movie. This is connected to the movie. So he's gonna die by an axe.
By Jack.
Yeah. Which is lame because I mentioned this as soon as season 8 had finished premiering. I posted up on X, and you had commented on it, and I was like, I think it would have been great to follow Halloran in like a Overlook Hotel TV show, like to see him kind of develop his Shining more, help ghosts pass along, back to the afterlife. Like every episode, it could have been like a new ghost or like a new horror theme thing in order for him to like solve a case or solve something and kind of like help a ghost pass through the afterlife, and then to his inevitable death.
But technically, this is kind of why I hate things in a way, because technically Halloran dies, but he doesn't die because he helps adult.
He's still back in sleep. Yeah.
Oh, Andy Muschietti.
It's kind of like he dies, but he becomes a Jedi. And like he's still useful after that, because he's still there to guide Danny and anybody else, I guess.
Okay, Yoda.
Which is upsetting too, because he could bring back Halloran as a ghost, but where's what's his name from the Green Mile? I want him back.
I want him back too. That would be very nice to have.
Such a sweet
Maybe
guy.
that's what we get in another season. Maybe we get an actual connection, because Shawshank is technically.
When does Green Mile take place?
We went through that. Remember, it's before.
The year?
Yeah. It's. Remember, we explained everything.
1935. Okay.
So remember, it's like a history of things. So obviously, we know he's going off to a hotel. Hank, he's leaving town finally.
Yes.
Hopefully, he doesn't chase any more white women.
Should have done in the first place.
Which he should have done in the first. This is all his fault.
Yeah.
Because anyway, he goes with his daughter Ronnie, and they leave. There is no. Maybe we should stay. I'm gonna miss you. They leave. Obviously, Ronnie will not remember any of this, which makes it sad.
Yeah.
Will.
So did they establish?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did they establish? I guess what they're saying is that Ronnie and Will are together to birth. What's his name?
Oh,
what's his name? The little. The little. What's the
black kid?
Yeah, what
But
was
that
his
was
Mike?
that ended up
Mike,
being his great. Oh, you see how I completely
right?
completely forgot that. I forgot that whole
So,
aspect.
but are they saying that it's because we already know Will's the father? We already know that. But I'm talking about
He's
Will.
happy.
It's Will
I
and
never.
no.
That's crazy because I never got that Ronnie was the mother.
Huh. I mean,
I never got that Ronnie ends up.
yeah. I don't know if they ever established who the mom was.
Because doesn't one die in a house fire, like in an apartment fire?
I can't remember anymore.
Oh, he dies in an apartment fire. I think it's Will. One
Oh
of
no,
them.
Will, yes. I just don't know about the
Yeah.
mom.
Oh,
We're talking about the
I don't
mom. I
know.
can't remember who the mom was.
They didn't say because it didn't lead up to that at all. Okay, Will's mom is Charlotte. So then who's Will gives birth to who? Mike.
Mike Hanlon's mother in Stephen King's It and the movies is Jessica Hanlon, who tragically dies in a house fire with his father. Oh, so they both die together. So
Which is called by
Jessica's
Pennywise
somebody
trying to kill
else.
him. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Got it.
Ronnie is gone. So she is not traumatized. She doesn't die later on. She just disappears. She good.
Oh, okay.
One black person made it. I'm happy about this.
Damn.
One black person. Because Will dies in a fire. His mom dies in a fire. Come on now. That's sad. And we know that Pennywise is the one who caused all the fires,
Well,
trying to
probably.
kill off the kid.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm happy about that. So Ronnie is alive. Um, they have the little kiss, which is cute. This was stupid. I didn't like this part, but we all know why they had to stay. Charlotte is like, maybe we don't have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so is the father.
The father.
We don't have to leave. Which we all know he ends up staying in Derry anyway. And he ends up becoming, they make a sheep joke. There's a whole sheep joke. Which is like, okay, we still don't know why he ends up being so evil. He's like, just kill him, boy. We don't get that.
I mean, we kind of get a glimpse of that when he hits Will for the first time. Obviously he's trying to protect his family, but he still kind of went overboard with it. So I guess that was kind of like just a sign of his temper and his like just his misguidance as being a parent, because he was never a present parent throughout the whole show. Like, he cares about them, he loves them, but he was mostly focused on taking orders, the military stuff, doing his job or whatever it is. So I maybe like that's what it leads to. It's just that like he's so dedicated to his work and just trying to put food on the table and money and all that he's not a present father, and he kind of just takes it out on them. That's what I picture.
Mm-hmm. Rose ends up, she has nobody to help to protect the barrier. So that's a mess for Rose.
What do you mean? What about that other
Because
group of
remember,
people?
Rose came up to them. They was like, hey, come help us protect the barrier. And he was like, nah, we going to leave.
No, well, but she still has that group of the family members, the other Native Americans.
Yeah, but you could still have more
she
people.
still has help. No, yeah, of course, but she still has help.
So that's all wrapped up. And then we end up 26 years later, where Ingrid is now still at Jupiter Hill, still listening. I love how they transition to like her still being young, and that lullaby that was being played. I guess a song. It would have been funny if it was the Ribbon in My Hair song, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I would have loved the Ribbon in My Hair, but it was not. It was something else, and it calmed her down, and then she ended up doing the painting, which was really cute. But she's now older. She is
Did you
the
notice what
old
the
lady.
painting was?
What was the painting?
The painting was her holding Pennywise's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, creepy. I wouldn't say nice.
No, but
Cute.
it still shows her connection to it.
Yeah.
But she always did have a connection, because remember, she's like, no one leaves Derry. And she tells Beverly this like 3 times. in
no
the
one in
It
Derry,
movies.
no one in Derry is ever really dead.
Right, right, which is true.
Mm,
So maybe the
yeah.
kids are not in hell; they're just floating.
Yeesh.
Oof. Anyway, so this is when we get the big screaming and the crying that's down the hall in Juniper Hill. And this is when she goes out. She's like, what's going on? You know? And this is when we see someone has hung themselves in a room. And we see that there are two people huddled down, crying hysterically. And one of the people is Beverly Marsh and her dad, who we know from the movies was an evil, nasty SOB.
Mm-hmm.
And she's all crying. And this is when Beverly's at, not Beverly, Ingrid's at the door and is like, no one here ever dies to something that extent. And that's when she gets the weird Pennywise smile.
Yeah.
So that the ending of Derry is the beginning of it, in a way.
In a way.
He's like, yeah, whatever.
I feel like it's a cop out connection because I it's just all it is just her meeting the little girl before she's an adult, because we all know in the movie she only in both movies, in chapter 1 and 2, the only time you see Beverly interact with that old lady was when she's an adult. So all this does is show that Beverly had met her before very briefly as a child, and it all connects. Great. It's all convenient. It's always like, it's a nice cameo and it's a nice connection. I get it. But I feel like it was just doing it for nostalgia's sake, or just for the sake of just forcing an extra connection. What I would have loved, I mean, we already know these theories, and yes, it would have been predictable, but I would have honestly loved if the plot twist right at the end of that episode was that Lily was the mom and she ended up in the asylum and she hung herself. That would have been shocking.
And you see, people would not have, I think that would have been a much stronger connection, because it's been so long ago since we saw the It movie that you wouldn't realize that that was Lily.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of people on social media, they were guessing, they were all guessing like, oh yeah, Lily's the mom. It's so obvious Lily's the mom because she's crazy, just like Beverly. People thought Beverly was crazy. So there's got to be a connection with that. Everybody was putting two and two together. So it just made sense for Lily to be the mom and for them to not do it. At the very least, just reveal it at the end that, now we know her demise is that she hangs herself in a insane asylum. It would have been a good, horrific way to end.
But what about for us regular people who don't have thinking caps and didn't know that was Lily, that was actually the mom of
even more of a shock. It would have been even a greater impact for those people who didn't guess that.
I mean, it would have been nice to see a face or something to be like, oh no, Lily.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. But yeah, my problem was the execution of it. Yes, It's nice to see that, but yeah, the execution. I also would have liked Penny in the corner being like, haha, or something that only Ingrid could say. He plays in people's faces all the time.
A balloon passing by the window or something.
Right. Because remember in Marsh was looking up at the tree and it was like just a regular airplane that said, welcome to Derry. And she was like, hey, it's normal again.
Yeah.
But we could at least saw, a balloon pass by as Lily is just swinging and hanging. But we didn't even get that. Or even like Ingrid turned around and it would be a balloon just floating down the hallway.
Down the hall. Yeah.
And then we would have gotten the smile from Ingrid. Yeah. That would have been amazing. Oh, we didn't get that. So I thought, overall, this was strong, but it could have been stronger. I didn't like some of how the connections connected. Tell the bird that I said hi.
What bird?
It is squeaking. There is something that is squeaking.
There's
now
nothing
it's not
in this
squeaking.
room.
See? Stop.
Oh, I hear it because my headphones are off. That's the dog with his squeaker toy.
I thought you had a parakeet.
I'm really surprised you can hear that. I'm all the way upstairs with my door closed.
Well, you can hear the truck, and I'm all the way up with several over 20 flights high.
That's true.
You're like, There's a thing down there. But yeah, I thought it could have been a lot stronger. With that, I didn't like the fact that it kept saying, "Oh, it can go back in time and do this and this and this," because I felt that that was a way of like literally having to spell things out of how Pennywise operates. And then I felt like it literally gave us the blueprint for another season of what's going to happen. We're gonna just follow this bloodline.
I mean, that's a bit of a problem with society more than anything else, because I think if you notice movies back then versus how we view movies and TV shows now, there's a lot more hand holding involved in movies and television now, because it's like we have to guide everybody. We can't let them make assumptions or connect the dots themselves. Everything has to be done and connected for you, or else the movie's awful for some reason, you know? So I get it that this is the method that people use nowadays. You have to handhold everybody nowadays.
I blame George Bush with his No Child Left Behind. So everything we have to spell it out for everyone. So, any final thoughts on the Penny and his wives?
Beautiful ending, good season. You know how I feel about the CGI. I wasn't great about it, but I think after they had introduced Bill as Pennywise, I feel like they used less CGI and more focused on Pennywise. So I love that. It wasn't CGI heavy, and any CGI that was used, it was beautiful. I know that we're kind of like backseat writers. You know, we're saying, oh, they should have done this and they should have done that. But regardless of how we feel about it, or at least how I feel about it, I still think the show was amazing, and I would recommend it to anybody.
I'm muted. I think it was a very strong horror, even if it's not even connected. You're like, what's a Pennywise? It is a great introduction to be like, oh my God, what is that?
Yeah.
To horror, I think they used it very efficiently. It was very effective. I loved everything about this. I love the casting. It's the kids know how to act. It's so hard to find kids who can act. They were acting their behinds off. Bill, question to you. I hope that this doesn't happen. Bill did too good of a job where I'm wondering if he'll now get typecast because he did too well.
If they still continue to use him in season 2 and 3, probably. And I worry about that. I mean, sure, but they can kind of do it again like they did with this season. The first half would be without him, and then during the back end, they use him afterwards. It would be nice. Yeah, I do worry about that because I've been telling everybody too that he does such a good job as a maniacal evil clown that I would love him as the Joker. I think he would make a great Joker, and in a way that's kind of a typecast in itself too, because you're stuck with that kind of maniacal villainous type of thing. It's kind of like who's the guy from the American Horror Story show?
Evan Peters?
Yes, yeah, he is typecast in all kinds of villains. Like, he actually had to say, I don't want to be on this show anymore because it's mentally exhausting being a villain. And so he does such a good job at it, and yet he ended up being who's that serial killer? Dahmer. He still ended up being Dahmer. So he still takes these roles, but he's kind of typecast because he does such a good job with it. And I think Bill is going to end up in that same boat.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Bill and I hope Evan Peters or Peter Evans, whichever direction it goes in his name, they find nice rom-coms. Give me a rom-com.
Yeah, something else.
Something nice and light, and I don't have to worry about you killing people or some psychological thing. But yeah, I hope he is not typecast, but he played it so well. So Emmys, at least, give him some Emmys for that. So overall, this is very decent. This is very fun. I liked it. I look forward to what will happen in the other seasons. But here's what I'm thinking now. Because we know that Bob Gray, he took the form of a clown, was in 1908. If we go back in time, what my own question didn't make any sense. Because I was like, we're going to go back in time and it's going to be before 1908. So therefore, he's not a clown anymore. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So it'll have to be somewhere in between the night before or 1908 that we see him, because everybody just wants to see Pennywise in that clown form. He can't be like, Pennywise the dancing roach.
Or
That's not gonna work.
a flying demon baby.
A flying demon baby does work though.
Not
Oh,
with bad CGI.
I still didn't have a problem with CGI. See, y'all expect too much. Go watch Avatar if you want good CGI, but no story. So, haha.
Exactly. That's exactly, you beat me to it. I was like, yeah, great CGI, no story.
No story in the entire thing. So go watch that. Or you don't worry, you'll have the Avengers. They'll have great CGI.
I just watched the Avengers and Spider-Man leaks for 24 hours straight.
There you go. You got that. That was excellent CGI on the Nokia first edition phone. So I have been your host, Dana, joined for the last time of Hotel California.
You make it sound like I just got fired on this last episode.
Well, it's time that we have a conversation about DEI. I feel that we should just kind of let it go.
It's because
I'm Spanish. We have to let you go.
Spanish.
No, it's because you're diversified and you're full of equity, and I don't want to include you.
Damn.
So, we will be back with something else because no one else wants us because it's DEI. Fallout. We're gonna fall out with the Fallout, which Danny has definitely seen the first episode on, and he's excited to talk about.
I will watch it later. He
definitely saw that first episode and was like, "Oh, girl, I can't wait to tell you about how they fell out with the Fallout." we will be back with Fallout, and I'm sure something else is around the corner. Maybe when they actually drop the official trailers for the MCU, Kevin Feige didn't kill everybody yet, so they'll just drop the trailers. The CIA's at everyone's door. Oh, rest in peace. Why would y'all do that? And you could tell it was something that was like in-house. This wasn't like
the Captain America trailer. We got the audio for Thor. We have Spider-Man trailer, and then supposedly there's still more leaks going on.
We got Loki breakdown. I'm like, why are you explaining this? So we'll cover everything when it's official because we don't like CIAs at our door.
Yeah, I'm good. I already got to deal with ICE, so.
Ooh, that is true. This conversation is good one all over the place. A snowstorm is brewing. We will be back with something else. So I've been your host, Dana, where the dark meat is twice as sweet. If you're not deported. And, we will catch you. When we catch you, pray for us so we don't end up in alligator Alcatraz. Those, I don't know.